What's up, everybody? Welcome your FearlessChoice.com daily hit and run show. Pete Cole here. I'm not used to hosting here, so bear with me. I'm here. I got a special guest today with me, Chris Besh, who's actually has been with me forever on a bunch of sites. But Chris is our special guest today. What's up, man? How you doing?
Doing good, man. It's Wednesday, isn't it? I mean, this no job thing's killing me. Um, nice Wednesday here in North Carolina. I'm ready to break down this slate. It's a pretty juicy night slate. I'm glad we got Philly, Colorado off the slate, to tell you the truth.
Exactly. I can't stand core slates. But first of all, your FearlessChoice.com. Check us out. Right now, we have MLB promo going on, $25 a month. First 2 months, that includes all sports. We have been hitting yesterday or day before. We had one of our MLB guys hit for 20K. I'm not sure what GPP that was. Hit 20K there. A couple days before that, we had one of our soccer guys, I think, hit for 8K. So, and you get all sports go down. That can go to our Discord, the premium rooms or premium core rooms. And right now, we've been doing really well. I'm just looking on the winning lineups room, pretty much on all sports. These guys are hitting. Chris here is actually we have two race car guys. We have Eric, who does a really good job NASCAR, so you can check his stuff up. A lot of his stuff is free in the NASCAR room, and his cores are premium. Chris does Formula One. Me and him will have a show on Friday at noontime Eastern. We had a show 2 weeks ago before the last race. And what's it every other week, these races, I guess?
Normally it's every week, but right now they're just kind of breaking it down because they go cross country. I mean, they go across the world, not just cross country. So it just depends. I think there's race this weekend and next weekend. So,
all right. So we'll have a show, and we have yet to not cash or do really well. I played for the first time last week. After the show, I made a lineup during the show, and I did really well. And I know we've had some takedowns and all that. So that'll be Friday noontime, Formula One. We'll be back Friday morning. There's no MLB tomorrow because of the split slate. It's too crazy. I'll be back Friday morning. Jeremy Burton will be with me, special guest. Jeremy's been another one that's been with me for years. We've built lineups together for years, won GPP together, many of them. So we'll get a good GPP aspect from Jeremy on Friday. And that's pretty much it. So $20 a month. Check us out. We're gonna do the main slate. We're going to go position by position. We're not going to bore you guys. Hopefully we get out of here like 35, 40 minutes. Go our top pitchers, cash, and go around the bases. So once again, Chris, welcome. Weather first, because we do have some changes, actually. So any of you guys that are watching, so the A's and Orioles game got switched around because of weather. Now they pulled it off the slate. So technically right now on DraftKings, we're looking at a 6-game slate. 1, 2, 3, 6 games. Starts at 7:05. FanDuel starts at 6:40 now. But they have 3 extra games. I don't know why DK didn't do this. I think DK has a turbo for that. But that's the Angels, Houston, Yankees, Detroit, and St. Louis, Miami game. And then they roll into the same slate as DK and Yahoo at 7:05. All right, so we talk usually mostly DK. Chris is going to pop up some FanDuel numbers for us as we're talking. But let's check out and see if there's any weather. So Baltimore's off the slate. Tampa Bay, Chicago, that's actually part of the slate. I'm seeing Kevin Roth give him props from Rotor Grinders. We use him for weather. He's got orange on this game. So this may actually turn to a 5-game slate from what I'm seeing. Now, once again, it's early. We got 8 hours to go or whatever, but they're saying that they may be playing a whole game in the rain. So they think it's a decent chance of postponement. So hopefully, if they do, we'll hear it before lock. It's also windy, 20-mile-per-hour winds going right to left, a bit out to left. So keep that in mind, I guess, when we talk about hitters. And a Kansas City game. Some showers there, but I think that's good to go. So this may turn to a 5-game slate. We have a concern with Tampa Bay Cubs. Okay, anybody's any questions during the chat? Go to I'll put up the Ask Chat on YouTube, please. Any questions? We'll try to answer them as we go. And let's go, Chris. Start me off.
Do it.
Lead me along.
All right. Well, we got we'll touch on that Tampa Bay Chicago game, but I mean, my gut feeling is they're not going to play. So we'll touch on it, but I would just kind of keep that in the back of your mind as going on. So over on DraftKings, we've got only one guy priced above 10K, Rondon for San Francisco. Are you going there in cash, or are you paying down? What are you doing there? I mean, I know we got a bunch of 9K guys. Actually, we only have two of them, so we have three guys priced above 9K on this slate. Are any of them tickling your pickle this morning?
I've almost made up my mind already. I think so for cash right now, I'm looking at, and ownership is showing it too, of course. Carlos Rodon is going to be my SP1, probably on both sites. Now, to me, he's top overall pitcher to slate. He first game struck out 12 Marlins over 5 innings. That was in the opener. Then to Cleveland, 7 innings. He struck out 9 more Guardians, Indians, what do you want to call them. So right now he's got a 47% K rate. Of course, that's not going to stay that way, but he's facing the Mets. Mets are striking out 23% of the time, and they're hitting 215, 108 ISO against lefties. So to me, Rodon is well worth the price tag. So that's my one. I'm seeing ownership right now, which I really don't like. I'm seeing Berrios and Bassett both over 40 tonight. You can definitely go double arm in that game. You can do a double barrel shotgun using Rodon and Bassett. I'm telling you, I'm interested in cash. I may drop all the way down Merrill Kelly. 8K on DK, cheap on DK, much more expensive on FanDuel, 9,300 I see. So Merrill Kelly over the winter transformed his changeup, and it's shown right away. It showed in the springtime. He had some really good games in the spring. And right now, his results, but I'm amazing. First start against the Padres. Let me see, struck out 7, only allowed 4 hits, 75 pitches, 4 innings. Next start was against a team that doesn't strike out much, the Astros, and he still whiffed them 6 times. No earned runs against the Astros, 3 hits. And now today he gets the Nationals, who we've seen all season right now. Horrible hitting team. Yesterday on doubleheader, just weren't hitting. Strike out a lot against Rays, 23%, and in the pitcher's park. So I'm leading right now Merrill Kelly and Rodon in cash. That's my thoughts right now. And then we got all the GP guys. And what's your thoughts? Any other thoughts on cash? Or
those are the two that I'm looking at on DraftKings. What I've been doing on FanDuel, and I've actually had a lot of success, is depending on the matchup, 10-8's a lot to pay on FanDuel for a starting pitcher. But then again, FanDuel does do a lot of more quality start, win, strikeouts, things like that for pitchers. But I've been kind of going to that mid-tier range on FanDuel, and it's actually been working out fairly well. Like on FanDuel, you got Luis Severino against the Detroit Tigers. He's not as good as he used to be. He's struggled a little bit this year. But, Detroit's offense is nothing to be scared about. He scored 39 fantasy points last time against Toronto in only 5 innings pitched. And this is a much weaker of a Detroit lineup right there. And he's only $9K, so you're saving $1,800 right there off the bat for someone I think who has just as much upside as the top end guys on FanDuel.
It just hit me too that this is Ohtani game, because I've done a lot of research this morning on DK. So this is an Ohtani game on FanDuel. I still think Ohtani's GPP play, but people will be asking me about that today.
He's always going to be in GPP. He's got elite strikeout upside. I just worry about the Angels with not extending him too far. You know what I mean? If he gets in a jam in the 4th or 5th inning, they're going to yank him. They're not going to extend him very far.
And actually, it was one of those rare games. He actually got creamed last game. Of course, we started him. He was high owned. I can't remember who was the last game he pitched. I can't remember his last week. But
I think Texas.
Staying with FanDuel, I have a little bit of if I was playing there, Sandy Alcantara, a little bit of interest at 9,200. I just think that he's looked really good. He had some control issues against the Giants, but it really didn't get crazy. Good, he looked really good against Philadelphia. And those hitters, Goldie, Arenado, O'Neill, DeJong, all those guys, they do not have good BBPs against Alcantara. So at Pitcher Park. So if I'm doing FanDuel, I would have some interest in Sandy Alcantara, who I think is a really good pitcher in GPPs.
So moving on down, you hit on Kelly and everything else. Are you looking at, this is mainly to someone maybe like a Paddock against Kansas City? We saw what Chris Archer did last night. Does he maybe make the short list of cash pitchers, or is he GPP only?
No, I mean, to me, I think Paddock, his fastball velocity's dropped. I know he's going to be popular today because his price. Can't see he does strike out a ton, but I had no interest in Paddock, especially that velocity. I actually have a kind of a short, concise pitching list today. I'm not interested in Barrios, and I know Barrios is getting in popularity. I just think that I'm not messing with him today, especially when you're going up against guys like Bogarts, JD Endeavors. I don't think he's been good yet this year. I actually been interested in. I love Logan Gilbert. I think Logan Gilbert to me is your pivot from Rodon. He's $1,300 cheaper than Rodon. So great rookie year last year.
He's been unbelievable in 2 starts. He's been unbelievable.
Yep, and then he carried
unhittable.
So, and quietly too. I mean, 2 starts. He struck out 11. Only had one walk allowed. And this is against the White Sox and Twins. So these aren't no pushovers offensively. And now he faces the Rangers. And they've struggled out of the gate too. So especially against righties, OPS of 5.69, league low 0.69 ISO against righties, Rangers. So Gilbert is probably be my top GPP play. I could even go with him in cash with Rodon if you have enough value, but it's probably gonna be easier to go with. I just like Merrill Kelly a lot. I think Bassett's GPP play. Even though he's popular, you can play both those guys in that game. He's been really well, but he's always has the reputation of being a better pitcher, real life pitcher than DFS guy. And my last pitcher I'm looking at, and then if you have anybody is, I can't believe I'm even saying this, but Eric Vetty for Washington, because they're going up against Arizona. Now, I think it's probably the first time I've ever even recommended him, but he's gone. Let me see. Both starts, 5 innings, gave up 2 runs each start. Not bad. Struck out total of 11. So he's got a 9.9 K per 9 rate. We saw yesterday Josiah Gray, what he did to the D-backs. I mean, he carved them up. No reason for Fetty to do the same thing today. So he's not really cheap either, $8,300. So I'm probably not even gonna go below $8,300. Beside that, as I think Pivetta is going to get rocked today. I have no interest in him. Daniel Lynch, absolutely no interest. I mean, he's horrible. Think about Daniel Lynch, he's horrible to righties, but he's really, really good to lefties. But I'm not messing with him. Marcus Stroman, possibly, but that's that Chicago Tampa Bay game. So to me, it's a short list. Rodon, Kelly, Cash, and then I like a lot of Fetty, Gilbert, Bassett, and GPP.
So taking a little turn here. So if you're MME in tonight, say 20 to 150 lineups, are you just using those top 6 pitchers, 8K and above, and just exiting everybody else out? Or are you going to take some shots?
No, if you're MME and if you're making like 20 lineups in the $4. No, I didn't really. I'm a Dane Dunning guy. I like Dane Dunning, a 6.6. So I can see Seattle's doesn't scare me right now. I would use some Dane Dunning. I guess I would put some Lynch in there, and some Paddock. I've seen enough of Paddock to tell me he's broken, but and that's, I mean, you gotta put Pivetta in some. But right now, Pivetta is throwing really bad, and he's a home run pitcher. So, but you got to get him in some, I guess. Especially if you're multi-entering.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yesterday I played 50 lineups in the $1 just to see what was going on, and I had 80% Burns and just mixed and matched my second pitchers. Half Musgrove, had a lot of Cole Irving, a lot of Chris Ellis. Just mixed and matching. Looking at the pitching thing today, as you said, I mean, I don't even feel comfortable putting Paddock and Lynch in my GPP pool. I mean, I'm looking at just going Kelly all the way up, and maybe even excluding Nick Pivetta, and just going 5 pitchers and just trying to be different there and making a stand there. For those who don't know, I do a lot of MME and MLB. I'll do a cash lineup, but then I'll typically run between 50 to 100 lineups in the dollar or some kind of contest every single night. So I play around with ownership and numbers like that. Tonight looks like a night that you're going to stick with probably a 5 to 7 player pool in pitching. I wouldn't go any deeper. I wouldn't try to be cute and double stack Dunning and Paddock there, because you're just going to lose points. So I would look at just those top 5 to 7 guys as your MME pool tonight in pitching.
And you're right. If you see the Twins lineup come out and you see they got a bunch of lefties in there, which I don't think. I think they're gonna be loaded up on righties. You see some lefties, yeah, because Lynch. You look at his splits, man. He holds his guys 0.37 ISO to lefties, 163 WOBA, and then put the righties 222 ISO. That's a huge difference. So
Massive difference.
Sometimes you got to pay attention at lock to see what these lineups look like, because then you can sneak in there with a Daniel Lynch, and then if you can get around Polanco and Correa, then you're halfway home, because you can strike out the rest of these guys. Even though Gary Sanchez is getting hot though. He's got strikeouts. So
right now, Pete. Right now, the Twins are projected to have all righties but one. So
Warnick probably, right?
Yep, that's it. So we're looking at a full right-handed lineup for Minnesota. So just pay attention to lineups, like Pete said. That's where you gain an edge. Most people just see lineups and they don't even look to see matchups. And so, if Twins throw out 4 or 5 lefties in there, then definitely look at Lynch and put him in the pool.
Yep. I'm guilty of that too sometimes. You forget to do these are little tidbits that you could be doing before a lock that definitely get you an edge. Like we're saying, this Tampa Bay game and the Cubs, because they're talking about heavy weather. Stack that game up, get a few stacks if you're multi-entering, because if that game goes off, nobody's gonna be on it, and we know what could happen with especially the Tampa Bay bats. So that's how you win. I've said it before on the show. That's how you win GVPs, is being different than the fields, doing something that you can jump over 80% of the field, and that's one of them. Being Tampa Bay, going up against a guy Stroman people do respect, and next thing they go off. So Brandon Lau, Chow, all that, Choi, and all that. So I think it's moving right. That's all I got, really.
Yeah. Pitcher's pretty self-explanatory today. Moving right along to catcher. It's. Are you paying up today? Are you going? Perez is day to day. I don't know if he's playing. Contreras is in the weather game. Or are you going with everybody's favorite? I think I saw you talking yesterday in the chat. You don't understand why this guy's always high owned in cash games. I'll let you speak on him if you want to, but. Where are you going to catch it? I'm typically, when I play, I typically find the highest batting, cheapest catcher there is on the slate. I typically will punt catcher 99% of my time in my cash game lineups, because that just, to me, feels like a position I can gain a little bit of salary relief from. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, that'll probably be tonight. The only if you pay up, you go to Salvi. Salvi's hot now. Sal Perez, he hit 2 bombs again last night. So now, and he started out really cold. I have him in some of my high dollar season longs where I was getting worried, but no, now he's got 4 multi-hit games, 2 multi-home run games in his last 6. So 348 average, 913 slugging, and that Kauffman Stadium is a top hitters park of this slate too. So Salvi's your pay up, your cash play. Everybody, people do like Varsho. He's always popular. Honestly, I still don't understand it. I know he's got the power speed combo. I know he's a talent, and he's a big time talent. But still, the guy still. He's starting to. He had a home run yesterday, but he's still only batting 170 on a year. 2 homers, 2 ribbies. Last year he hit 250, 11 homers. So he did get better. He did have a better second half of the season, but I still have issues why Varsho was always so popular. He's multi-eligible, of course, but at 3,500 at DK, if I'm going to do that, I'm just going to drop down to Gary Sanchez, who's hot, going up against Lynch, who's a gas can. Sanchez is coming off two doubles last night. I think he had a home run the night before that. This could be a bomb night for him. Or you got this kid, Zach Collins, who we all used last night. And Zach Collins he's become a cash staple. He's $2,800, hot bat. I think it was 2 for 4.
They need to raise his price. He needs to be 3,400 or more. I've played him every day for a week.
Now he's probably, to me, he's probably the chalky cash play. Hitter friendly park Fenway, 8 hits in his last 15 at bats, right there. Boom. So to me, Zach Collins is the top catcher, unless you're going to go Salvi Perez.
Well, if Collins doesn't, he's been playing a lot lately. If he doesn't start, you can just pivot over to Kirk,
Yes.
The other catcher. Same kind of matchup. He's a little bit more expensive, but he's hitting 233 on the year. I mean, rarely does he put up a bagel, but I mean, he's gotten 5, 4, 6 his last 3 games. I mean, he's someone that you can look to pivot to as well in a good hitting park tonight. No, I agree with all that. I mean, looking at the bottom, I mean, Zach Collins, like you just said, Gary Sanchez at 2,800 on DraftKings is very nice in this game environment. Connor Wong, I played him last night, first start of the year. If you had to get that far, $2,100. I mean, that's a solid play right there. If you need the salary save, I'm not.
He get a hit last night. He did something because I was like half watching the game. I was doing some schoolwork, and I did. He
got a walk, and then he reached on an infield error or something. He got on base twice, but only got points for one. I think he got walked or something.
But he's an offensive catcher, so.
Oh yeah. Over on FanDuel, Zach Collins is only 2,300. I know you have that catcher first base eligibility, but I mean 2,300 for Zach Collins is insane. If you ask me, that's kind of like a free square. I mean, and then Kirk is 2,300 as well. So if one of the others not playing, you just pivot to the other. I really like Gary Sanchez, as you mentioned on FanDuel at 2,700. Perez is 3,200. I think he's the highest or second highest catcher on the slate at FanDuel, but he's also the highest projected and highest projected ownership behind Varsho. I mean, I'm looking. See, what I don't like about FanDuel is I don't have to play catcher because like I said, on DraftKings, I use catcher as a salary relief. If I need to get another big bat, I typically would drop my catcher down, and you can't really do that on FanDuel. But if you are going to go there on FanDuel, I definitely look at Collins and Kirk as your plug and play there at 2,300.
One I play with GPP only is Garver, but we know Garver's a great reverse splits hitter, but he's going up against Logan and Gilbert, who we like. But Garver's the only other one I would be looking at for GPPs.
And he has been frustrating this year. He was supposed to. I had him tagged for a breakout year in Texas, and he finally got out of Minnesota. And man, dude, he's hitting terror. I played him every game. I played him every damn slate. I'm thinking, here's his breakout game, and now watch. I'm not going to play him tonight. He's going to hit 2 bombs.
So he'll go off tonight then if you don't play him.
Exactly. All right, moving on to first base. We've got 3 guys priced at over $5K on FanDuel. Alonso, Vlad, and Belt. Are any of those guys going to make your cash game lineup, or are you going to do more of a balanced build, or is it just kind of wait and see approach right now?
Vlad's the play if you have the money. If you play Vlad against righties, I mean, you can't say he's a reverse split hitter. He's a all split hitter, but he actually hits righties better than he hits lefties. He's a right-handed batter. He's going up against Nick Pivetta, who has definitely struggled. He's another one his velocity's dropped, and he will give up the long ball. He's given up 3 in 2 starts. Elite numbers on that reverse: 321 ISO, 425 WOBA, 47% hard contact. He's not going to come cheap, but he's a top overall play. Is Vlad. Now, one guy I like a lot. I'm going to let's say 3 guys, and then tell me who you like, so I don't lose track here. Is Ty France? I think Ty France is a good spot. He's been really hitting the ball well. He doesn't get enough recognition, even though he did go. He went hitless last night. That weekend series against the Astros, he did really well. I do like Dane Dunning. I got respect for Dane Dunning, but I think France is a good spot. He had 290 last year. I think 18 home runs. He's only 4,500, so actually he's more mid range. And then I have interest in going down if the game goes. I like Choi tonight. I usually don't like Choi, but I think Choi's in a great spot. He's right now, I think he's one of the hottest hitters in baseball. So he's reached base safely in every game, slashing 423, 571, 769, with 2 bombs. Like Choi, if the game goes off, and if I go all the way down, I guess you can call it a sneaky play, is this kid Seth Beer for Arizona. DH yesterday and played first base. Fine. First time he's actually played first this year. I went 2 for 4 first game. I think he had another hit in the second game. But it's definitely a limited sample. But look at Seth Beer's splits. I mean, he's hitting 390 right now. I mean, that's both sides, a 390 batting average. But his splits right now are crazy. He's got 350 ISO, 500 WOBA, both fly ball hard contact, over 50%. Now you can see, of course, some regression, some negative regression on that shortly. But ride the hot wave right now. Seth Beer is in a really good spot tonight, too, against Eric Fetty. Now, I brought him up as a decent GPP play because Arizona can't hit, but it's not like Eric Fetty's, a Cy Young pitcher here either. So I like Seth Beer at 3,300 as probably a lower owned sneaky play, I guess. But I'm going to try to get Vlad in my lineup. I think Vlad is definitely in the best spot tonight to hit a home run. He's probably 2 or 3 guys. Vlad's one of the main ones hit a home run tonight.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I like that Seth Beer call, the former number 1 pick of Adams Astros. Back in what was it? Back in 2018. So I mean, he's finally coming.
Yep.
First round pick. I mean, he's got the talent, obviously. I like that play. I'm actually trying to look him up on FanDuel and see what his price is on FanDuel real quick. Because I mean that's a great play right there. I mean, because people are going to go Freddie or Freed or however you say his name on DraftKings as a GPP pitcher. So that's
seeing him on FanDuel. I'm gonna see him at first base.
He's 3,300 at first base. I found him. He's projected at 2% ownership. So I mean, that's a great GPP call right there. I really like that play. Ty France. Hang on, wait a minute. I was on DraftKings. Let me look up.
I don't see him on unless he's. He may be. Oh, I got Arizona up now, so he's not.
He is in the outfield.
Outfield, okay.
Outfield, 2,700. That's a steal. Over there, I mean, he's 33 on DraftKings. I was looking while you were talking. I'm big on Vlad. I'm not one to ever play Pete Alonso, and I don't know if that's because it's my Atlanta fandom, but I've just never been a fan of Pete Alonso, and I never get him right, so I just typically steer away from him. Belt. He could be so good. He just goes back and forth. He goes through a slump where he can't hit a beach ball. One guy that I've seen been mentioned a few times this morning, I want to get your take on this before everybody else starts going about it, is what do you think about Sano down here at 2,600? Yeah, he's only hitting .067. He's got 1 home run. But, I mean, if you're targeting the Twins and you're getting the stat going on, I mean, Sano does have a 23-point game back on 4/15 against Boston, 5 and 4 the 2 after that. He had 0 last night, but I mean, or on the 18th. So I mean, what are your thoughts on Sano there? He's 2,600 on DraftKings. I mean, taking a shot with him, or are you just skipping him altogether?
To me, Miggy Sano is probably the most tilting player in baseball. I've used him so many. I remember last year too because he's great. I mean, tonight, perfect matchup going up against a left-hander that cannot get righties out, and he gives up hard contact, gives up fly ball rates. This is all built in for Miggy Sano, who has 50% hard contact himself, and then he lets you down. So I'll play him 4 days in a row. The 5th day I don't play him, he goes off for a bomb. It always happens. So he definitely has got a good chance for a bomb tonight. It's just he's boom or bust. He's either going to strike out or he's going to hit one. And it is a hitter stadium during Kaufman tonight, so definitely GPP only. I mean, I've tried that Miggy Sano cash game act, and it doesn't go anywhere. He's just too boomer bust, but he can definitely let one loose tonight. Definitely.
How do you? Let me see. What is his stats on the year? He's had 30 at bats, and he's only had 2 hits on the year. Is what I'm looking at. I mean, one of them being a home run. I mean, that's not real, is it?
People still tell him, and he's hitting 0.70 on the season. How many hits? One's a home run. So.
Right? I mean, dude, I haven't played baseball in probably 15 years, but I guarantee you I could get 2 base hits. I mean, shit, I played college baseball. I know I could at least get 1 hit.
He's got 37% career strikeout mark. I didn't realize that bad. I mean, he's got a 0.53 BABIP, so he has been hitting, a little bit of bad luck here, but still, Miggy Sano is not a cash kid. Nobody can tell me he's a cash play, but he's not. No. But if
someone tells you he's a cash play, they're lying to you. Don't follow that site anymore.
And you'll see people saying he's a cash play today. Great spot. He's in a great spot. You can't deny it against a gas can pitcher, but you need show me a couple hits here.
Dude, he's had 2 hits on the year. I can't play him in cash. Anyway, sorry. I just had to bring that up because, like I said, I've seen a few people mention him already, and I'm just like, I don't understand what people are doing. I didn't realize he only had 2 hits on the year. But anyway, let's move on to second base. this is a position. I mean, this is to me, it looks pretty loaded with 2, 4, 5 guys over 5K, bunch of mid-tier plays that I kind of like. It looks to me like the Twins are still underpriced here again. Like they were last night against Lynch, So, I mean, were you paying up tonight for Lowe or Witt, or are you going all the way back down to our boy that we've been playing pretty much every day in Lewis? What are your thoughts there?
Well, this is a tough one. When I first looked at it, same thing. I thought it was loaded, all these names. But once again, you start picking apart, and I start getting rid of players because I think your top two are Brandon Lau or Witt. Lau's going up against a righty. You play Lau against righties, but once again, Marcus Stroman isn't a gas can. He'll keep the ball down. Ground ball pitcher, all that. So Lau to me is not a cash play. Witt, could always be a cash play, but Witt's another one. I mean, he's only hitting 140 on the season, and most of these guys, it's just we're still in spring training mode here. So Witt's probably the top cash because he can score 9 points without even getting a hit. Story GPP. I can't believe Rojo Odor is still that game's off anyways now, but I can't believe Odor's still in baseball. To me, it comes down to Polanco. These Twins will tilt you because we played them all last night and not much happened. But Polanco going up against Lynch, who can't hit right-handed bats. Polanco is a fastball hitting. He hits the fastball. Lynch's main pitch is the fastball. Good spot. One of my main second baseman tonight, I just don't like the price. It's going up to $3,700 now, is Nicky Lopez. I love Nicky Lopez. Mike Matheny messed with the order to try to jumpstart that offense. He put Nicky Lopez back to second yesterday. So Sal had his 2 bombs. Lopez went 2 for 3 with a pair of doubles and a walk. And before that, Lopez had the best center in team. He was batting 348, 375 OBP from the 9th spot. So Lopez at 3.7 is probably my best favorite point per dollar second baseman. But then you could, I'm not my computer just went. I know I'm forgetting somebody. Estrada is always a good spot. Adam Frazier.
You looking at Cano? Any in that? And then that. Oh, how the mighty have fallen with Robinson Cano.
And Cano's another one. Well, Cano, I don't think Cano's second base on DK anymore. I think he's on FanDuel. Cano's another one.
He's second base only on DK.
So I'm actually got a shortened second baseman tonight too. Looks like ownership is going toward Polanco. So 4K, but we know Polanco could go over 4. Polanco's not the best play. But if you're playing GPPs, I'd be fading this Twins team and going somewhere else because they're cheap and they're going to be popular in GPP. So Ketel Marte could end up being the best second baseman of all of them, but he's 5-1 against Fetty. But
then here's your kicker right here. Over on FanDuel, Marte is 2,900. Polanco is 31. Whit Merrifield is 27. You can also play Ty France at second base on FanDuel tonight. Marte is $2,200 cheaper on FanDuel than he is on DraftKings. Witt is $2,700. Brandon Lowe is $34. He's $2,200 cheaper. So the prices of these second basemen on FanDuel are incredibly nice.
I'd try to lock in Marte and FanDuel. He's one of my favorite players.
Yeah, he's the top ownership play at the moment on FanDuel at $2,900. That's a steal.
Yeah.
He's solid all around. Just look at that. I like that you can put Ty France over here and you can play both Vlad, Ty France, and Marte with a utility spot. There's plenty of flexibility on FanDuel tonight.
It's me, Polanco. I guess Polanco on a FanDuel Marte. But we look at it first, think it's low, but then when Cesar Hernandez is slated to be the second highest owned, he's 3.9, but Cesar Hernandez is he's about my age. Semion's finally getting hot a little bit. Semion's a good spot against Gilbert, but once again, GPPs, I like Gilbert. But I said I may go all the way down to like a Nicky Lopez, man. The kid's hot, and nobody ever plays Nicky Lopez. You can play Nicky at short too.
Lopez on FanDuel, 2,400 second and shortstop. You can play. That's solid. That's a good price right there. That's a good price there.
DK, but
It happens.
One of my top calls today.
Okay. So moving along to third base, I can never get Devers right. If I stack him with my Red Sox, I don't get him right, and then when I don't play him, he goes off. He's the top 5,900. I don't think I'm going 5,900 there tonight. I think there's better spend up spots. Wisdom for Chicago up here at 4,600. That's a little high, but dude's been smashing even outside. I mean, look at his K log. So I mean, he's going to be a sneaky GPP play tonight if that Tampa Bay Chicago game goes on. I mean, he's crushing the cover off the ball. He's got 12, 21, 11, 16, and 16 in his last 5 DraftKings games.
Oh yeah, nice call. I just pulled that up. It's funny. I just picked him up my season long because my team's in the IL. I picked him up about an hour ago, and I didn't realize I didn't look at his logs. You're right. 16, 16, 11, 21, 12. He's definitely boomer bust. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But this kid, he's the type of guy could come out and hit 2 home runs today. So.
Mm-hmm. And he'll be low owned because of that weather that we're watching in Chicago. So, I mean, you keep an eye on the weather if Chicago plays. I mean, I would get a few shares of Wisdom, even as a one-off. I mean, even if you don't want to stack the Cubs fully, just Wisdom one-off is a good place right there to go.
Yep, that's pretty much how you have to play probably Wisdom in his games. I'm not playing too many other Cubs even if the game went off. Geno Suarez. I'm a Geno Suarez fan. I'm happy to see him actually doing better now. Shoulders back. Healthy and all that. Geno Suarez, I think he just hit a home run the other night.
Yeah, I wish he would have stayed in Cincinnati. He would have had 45 plus homers.
Oh yeah, definitely. And then everybody was down on him, but come to find out, he was hurt for a lot. So, I'm not seeing any chats. If anybody's asking questions for some reason, my chat is not even.
I'm not seeing anything, but let me check.
Maybe nobody likes not asking, but I'm not seeing anything. But I think Devers is going to be. I mean, Devers is the play. I mean, he's got crazy splits. You play Devers against a righty. Like I said, I don't like Berrios today. I would rather pick on Berrios. He's out 7 runs and 3 home runs over 5 innings in his first 2 starts. I'm not saying Berrios is broken, but I'm going to pick on Berrios today. If he goes off, he goes off. I mean, he has a great game, and he very well can. But I do like the Red Sox. I just don't know if I can get up to Devers. But who else do we really have here? I mean, my numbers, nobody's jumping out at me besides, Wisdom, Chapman, but he's against a righty, I guess. He's not bad against righties. He can hit one. I can pick on Pivetta, Urshela, a righty against Lynch. What's ownership is telling us who? Oh, Bobby. I keep forgetting Bobby Witt. I played Bobby Witt every game, like the last game when
I'm done with him.
He's gonna have a home run by Sunday, I guarantee it. And once he hits that first one, he's off. But yeah, he's.
What about
So he's
this is not a good player pool tonight on third base.
No, and the more we're looking at it, the more I'm like, wow, this is kind of crappy. So
yeah, third base I think is going to be kind of your, as they say, your last man in, or you include it in your cash game stack, which in cash game stacks you don't fully on stack a team, but if you're stacking 2 or 3, 4, you throw that third baseman in there and hope you get lucky.
Brad Miller, he gets that split.
I was looking at him, but I don't like that matchup versus Gilbert.
I like Gilbert, right? So GPP only. So I think it's either you get Devers. If you can't get the Devers, and I'm probably gonna drop down to Bobby Witt. Maybe I'd rather play Witt than Urshela. And Urshela's got pop. I've watched Urshela a lot, but and Witt, the Witt home run's coming. So I'm not saying it's tonight, but against Paddock, it very well could be. I said Paddock's velocity is down. I don't like what I'm seeing from Paddock. So maybe it's the game. So to me, it's either.
Hey, what about real quick before we go somewhere? What about that Abraham Toro cat in Seattle? I mean, he finally had a breakout game last night. 1 hit, 3 at bats, a home run, 2 RBIs, 16 fantasy points. He's only hitting $115 on the year, but I mean, the guy's got he's got talent, or he wouldn't be here.
Oh yeah, and I did a lot of research on him in the off season for regular season long fantasy baseball, and I had him as a sleeper. And I still think he's a good hitter, and he's finally. Actually, I just had Toro pulled up. I don't know where he went. So I respect Dane Dunning, and I think he probably has best game. He probably had his best game of the year yesterday. By far. I just don't like mess. I think Dane Dunning, if anything, is a sneaky call time for GPPs for pitching. I like Dane Dunning. So,
I like Dunning too, but I mean, this Seattle, I like this Seattle team, and last night they finally showed a little bit of life. So I'm hoping maybe that last night's, last 2 games really, they can really pick it up here. So if you're stacking Seattle tonight in GPP, which I probably will do, I'm going to put Toro and guys like that in my stack with Suarez and people like that. So
here's a
name to keep on your mind.
A FanDuel BVP. Bregman's 4 for 9 off Ohtani. Didn't realize that. So if you're playing FanDuel, you want to be way different. Throw a stack against Ohtani and make sure Bregman's in it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So let's just move right along to shortstop. Let's get out of that awful position. I mean, I hate third base tonight. So moving along, I'm not paying 5.9 for Lindor tonight. I'm not a big fan of his anyway. You playing Franco and with the weather or Crawford? I mean, there's a bunch of good shortstops. This looks like a better position than third base does tonight. I mean, your boy Nicky Lopez is 3,700 there as well.
Yeah, and this is maybe where you can go to Lopez at short, like a Polanco at second, because they said Lindor is hot. I mean, he's 8 for his last 22, batting he's almost 400 for the last 7 days. Man, is who else?
Yeah, but 6K. If it's 6K, you paying 6K for him? No, that's the question. Like,
no,
the reason I say no is because it's 5.9. I mean,
and you're not. No, absolutely not. It's probably he's going up against Rhode Island. So, Correa at 4.9. Correa is probably the play. Bo Bichette's just not hitting right now. He's another one. He's eventually going to get hot. He's eventually going to have a huge game. But
who said it yesterday? He needs to cut his hair.
That was Adam. Yep,
that was one of the better comments. He just got to cut his hair. Do something.
He fired that one ball from a shortstop. He's so like jacked up and he's so like tightly wound. He threw that ball from a shortstop a mile over Vlad's head. But he's too good. He's too good too. He's going to eventually come through. But one thing I'm learning, and I've been doing this for a long time, is stop playing these guys that are hitting 120. A $190 or whatever, wait for them to get hot because
then play them. Yeah,
people tell these guys all day by name, and they do have good splits, but when the guy hasn't had a hit in 6 games, so I think Correa is probably the top spot against Lynch. Bogarts, as I don't like Barrios tonight, as Bogarts I would play. Wander Franco was always a play. That kid's a stud, man. Man, it's
just gotta watch the weather in that game.
Nicky Lopez, probably Nicky Lopez again somewhere.
I'm dropping all the way down. Kid's pretty good. I like Nick Gordon a ton from Minnesota at 2,200 on DraftKings. He's outfield shortstop eligibility. They moved him up in the order last night. I think he was 5th in the order last night.
He had a 5th, but here's the problem: he gets pulled. He was pulled in the 4th inning. He had a triple, then he pulled him. So they pull him.
True.
My problem with it.
Yeah, but he had. I mean, he had 10 fantasy points at 2,200. I mean, with this bad of a position, if you're not playing up for Correa and you want to do a Minnesota stack, I mean, I would look at Nick Gordon. He's going to earn himself playing time. I like the kid. I think he's going to be good. He's got wheels. They just got to give him at bats and let him play. I'm not going out and saying he's a cash game staple in your lineup, but definitely a Minnesota. If you can't tell, I like Minnesota tonight. I like their cheap bats and pairing them with the big boys. Over on FanDuel, I mean, Correa comes in at 3K. I don't think you can really pass that up. That's a great price on him.
Yeah, Correa's probably the play. Lindor's got decent Rodon, over 300 career. I'm still not playing him.
Torres is 2,400 on DraftKings. Shortstop, second base eligibility. I just don't know if I want to target this Detroit-New York game over there. It just kind of – I don't know. I don't know what to think about the Yankees, man. They got so much pop in their bat or in their lineup. They're just not hitting right now, and it's frustrating.
The day they go off, but I just can't – that's a money pit right now.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad the Philly-Colorado game and the New York game is not on this main slate tonight because I think it's going to be – the slate's wide open. I mean, there's going to be one team that's going to score 8 or 9 runs and just break the slate wide open, but it's nailing that one team down. Shortstop. Say what?
No, I'm just saying, kind of like to wrap up shortstop because we got a bunch of scrubs here. You're either playing Correa as cash or Bichette. I can't play Bichette and cash right now. He is going to get better, but it's the same side. Beside that, though, there's not much. Bogarts. I mean, Geraldo Perdomo is like the 4th highest ownership guy I see right now over Franco. So,
I mean, your your best bet is just drop down to Nicky Lopez at 3,700
Yeah, that's
on.
probably going to go
I mean,
Polanco at second.
and go Polanco at second right there, and then you got a good little second short combo.
Yeah.
So moving right along to the wonderful world of the outfield. What are you doing here, man? Are you so I've been meaning. I'm glad you finally had me on the show. I want to ask you, how do you attack outfield? Do you include it into your stack, or are you looking more one-offs in outfield? Because I get a lot of questions like that. How do you pick your outfield? Do you stack 3 guys from the game, or 2 guys, or things like that? So like, how do you go?
For cash, I usually have one. There's usually every slate. There's usually one big value guy at outfield. That's a lock. Like I'm seeing tonight, Kyle Garlick is probably going to be batting cleanup because he's a righty against Lynch. 2K. You almost got to play him. He may get pinch hit for, but like the other day, he'll hit a bomb first. So you're going to find that one guy. J-Rod is still under 3K. So I would start grab my one value play, and then try to get one big bop and then somebody else like in the mid fours. That's how the cash usually goes. And then when I'm stacking, I've been stacking pretty much anymore at bottom of lineups because everybody plays the top of these lineups. Tonight, it's a weird slate again tonight, right? I mean,
yeah,
nobody's jumping out. George Springer is probably the top play of the night, I think, right now, the way I'm looking at it, against Pavetta.
I mean, Toronto's the only team projected over 5 tonight. So, I mean, I like that. I mean, Springer makes perfect sense just because there's a bunch of 4-5, 4-6, 4-7 projected runs tonight.
Winker's a good spot, but Winker's not hitting at all. Oh, here's a good, but the rain, I said the Ian Happ. I would love the Ian Happ wisdom little mini stack if the game went off. But
3,900. Yeah, that's a good.
Happ's been hitting. He's hitting like 330 on a season. He's been hitting well.
So here's my question for you, real quick. You were just talking about Garlick batting 4th for Minnesota. Would you rather pivot for $100 more for Trevor Larnach if he's playing batting 6th as a lefty versus Lynch, or would you want to stay with the 2K value play, like to be different? I mean, if he's going to be chalk, maybe that's a way to get rid of it, get off the bad value chalk and go to a lefty versus Lynch. What do you think about that?
I mean, everybody's going to be on Garlick. So Larnach is probably going to be low on because, Lynch is good against lefties. But, yeah, that's the type of move that wins you GDPs because nobody's going to be on him. And Larnach's got power. And he's hitting 5th or 6th. And he can hit one out, when all these guys like Urshela and Correa, Polanco on base. So, but you can't play Larnach in cash when you see Lynch. I mean, Lynch he's actually got close to elite numbers against lefties, but then he's got like total gas can numbers against righties. This kid is either one or the other, man. He's still young.
But he's gonna get it together. Are you going back to Boston tonight? They kind of killed me last night. I was very high on Boston and got disappointed with 2 runs out of them. You go back to JD and Kiki?
Probably am, because I'm not on Berrios tonight, and I think Berrios is going to get hit. So probably will have a Boston stack. And I said I wanted to game stack that last night. It didn't really happen that way. It didn't. Pavetta is a total gas can. So probably most of your main bats are going to come from this game. Devers, JD, Springer. Yeah, almost all our top players are coming from that game, I think, unless the Twins guys. So, yeah, I'm not sure too much about the slate tomorrow. It's going to be
the more you dig into it.
I think. I don't know.
What about I'm looking over here. What about last night? I heard a lot of chatter on this team last night, and they're just hot garbage. But the Nationals, are you playing Soto, Cruz, Lance Thomas, any of those guys? In cash, or you sit?
If any of them Soto, because it's lefty and righty. I only play boomstick, Nelly Cruz against lefties. But this team's just not hitting right now. This is why I like Kelly so much too. Mm-hmm. They're not. I watched them yesterday. They put that doubleheader. I think they swept it too, right? But they just didn't hit. They did.
The National. I think they swept it with 3 runs total. I think they won 2-0, 1-0, something like that. I mean,
well, yeah. For the first game, they actually saw like 6 runs, but then as I stacked,
that's what it was. Yeah.
And nobody did anything though. For scoring 6 runs, so no, they're not good right now. They're just not hitting the ball. It's just Soto. I almost feel sorry for him there. I'm not a Josh Bell guy. I just don't think Josh Bell's good. But Ruiz isn't hitting
So
now.
I got my sneaky stack of the night, and it's going to go against the GPP pitcher, especially in the outfield. I really
Yeah,
like
give me a top stack here, and then I'll think of mine here.
Okay, I mean my sneaky stack of the night, and just looking at these guys that I want to get into my lineup is San Francisco. I mean, if you look at Jock Peterson, he's rejuvenated his career. He's got 17, 17, 0, 15, and 14 in his last 5. He's got 360, 3 home runs, 3 RBIs, crushing the ball right now for San Francisco. I like pairing him with Stremski and Belt and maybe even Duggar, depending on where Duggar's batting. But Bassett's good, but this Giants team's sneaky good in my opinion when it comes to bats. Crawford's actually, I mean, he's hitting pretty damn good. 242 this year. He's double digits in a bunch of games. I like pairing him with Belt. I think once they got rid of Posey, they were able to do a little bit more. So San Francisco is my sneaky low owned snack of the night. I think they're gonna get to him.
Everybody's gonna be on Bassett. Nice call. And Bassett isn't immune. So I'm probably looking at the Twins gonna be popular, Reds, Blue Jays gonna be popular, and I think I came in second in a $25 last week with the Royals. So I'm maybe going back to the Royals today because I think Chris Paddock is broken, like a Salvi, Witt, Benny. Bobby Witt or even Witt. I just don't like.
You know what you do?
Paddock.
you stack the Royals with the Giants, and you go Gilbert and Rondon, and I mean you can make that work easily with those two teams.
Yeah, because these Royals are cheap too. So
yeah, and you get the big bats for San Francisco. I mean, Jock Peterson's 3,100. I mean,
and my problem in Jock is they don't waste any. And I never understood this with Jock because I know about the splits and all that, but I don't think he's as bad as everybody thinks. I mean, as soon as a lefty comes in, they pull Jock out. They don't care if it's a fourth thing. He's crushing the ball right now, and it just drives me crazy because leave him in there. I mean, let him. He's not that.
See what he can do against them.
I mean, his splits aren't. I mean, against lefties are actually his splits aren't. It's actually not. They're not too 107 ISO 317 WOB against lefties. So I mean, definitely he's a split hitter. But I don't know. I like Jock a lot too. I'm happy that he's actually hitting the ball now. Good game yesterday.
Yep.
Last one.
Yep. I guess what do you guys do? You guys do home run call coming up? I mean,
yeah. Give me we get our stack. I mean, our favorite stacks, other popular ones. I'll just quickly give pretty much as you're thinking of your home run call. I'm kind of just to kind of like synopsize everything. I am going to me personally right now. I am looking at Rodon and Merrill Kelly as my 2 cash pitchers. But I like Gilbert. I think Bassett's gonna be popular also. But I'm looking at Rodon and then going a little bit cheaper with Merrill Kelly. It's a weird slate. If I can get to Vlad tonight, I'm going to get to Vlad. So I may go some cheaper, some other places. I like Nicky Lopez tonight as a sneaky cheap play. I like Devers tonight, so that may be a ways you using guys like Nicky Lopez. Chris mentioned Nick Gordon. I think Nick Gordon's a good spot. And then you got the cheap popular outfielders, especially like Kyle Garlick, who may be hitting cleanup today against the lefty. So you can probably make any lineup you want work with these cheapos. You like the Giants
for sure.
as a GPP stack. I like the Royals as a GPP stack. And then we have the popular ones, the Red Sox, the Blue Jays. I know I'm probably forgetting somebody. But
Twins,
and once
Minnesota.
Again, Minnesota. And once again, the Tampa Bay Cubs. Be sneaky there. If you think that game's going to go, throw in Choi, Lau, some of these guys, Patrick Wisdom. We mentioned Ian Happ, some of these guys, I think, because if that game goes off and nobody's coming on them at all, we get the wind blown out. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. If you've found a home run call, I said
my home run call. I can't remember who you said either. It's gonna be for early slate. I like Matt Olson home run call just because I'm a huge Braves fan. I think the Braves are actually better with Matt Olson, but that was just kind of a shot at Freddie right there.
No.
But my home run call, we didn't even mention him in the chat or in the talk at all today. He hasn't hit a homer yet. He's come close. If he's in the starting lineup, lefty versus Danny Dunning, second baseman Adam Frazier, $4,800. Hasn't hit one yet, but we all know when he gets hot, he can get hot. So I like Adam Frazier tonight as my home run call.
I can't say Vlad because Vlad's too
easy.
So I don't want to say Miggy Sanoa.
Dude, I almost said Sano just to.
No, and here's the thing: we're beating him up so bad. He's gonna hit a home run today. So I'm already.
He's gonna hit two. He's gonna hit two,
and that's probably a really good chance that he does. Man, I'm probably. I'm thinking probably, but I think is I'm gonna call probably Polanco. He's due. He's in a great spot against Lynch. So probably Jorge Polanco tonight. He owes me. He was at 0 for last night. No, you know what is Seth Beer? How about Seth Beer?
There you go. That's a good call right there. Seth Beer and Adam Frazier are the home run calls. If they both hit a home run, Pete, we'll give away a free month of MLB.
There we go. Okay.
Because let's see it. But you have to like and subscribe to the channel. If they both hit a home run, Beer and Adam Frazier, I will personally pay for a month of MLB for someone who likes and subscribes to this chat. I
was trying to ask people too. Yeah, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to us, please. We're here an hour. Thank you, Chris. Once again, me and Chris will be back Friday, noontime Eastern for Formula One DFS. I'll be back 10 a.m. For MLB Friday. No MLB tomorrow. Split sleep. And I think that's
get ready for tennis. French Open's coming up in tennis, followed by Wimbledon. We'll have everything covered. I think me and Pete will try to get live
for especially the tennis majors. And
be on the lookout for PrizePick and golf dropping this afternoon. We'll have both those this afternoon. It's a weird tournament in golf this weekend, so I wouldn't go big, but I would just have fun.
All right, and $25 a month. Don't forget $25 a month promo. All sports included. With that,
remember, root for Beer and Frazier.